lovelies, you're welcome back to the channel. So don't be checking out this very interesting video titled My Finnish Sauna Culture in Canada, right? Let's dive into this one.
Just last week, the UNESCO World Heritage Organization made the Finnish sauna culture I'd have to look it up what it is officially. The sauna in Finland, and to Finns, definitely is part of their culture, part of our culture, part of my culture. It was a big part of my life when I was a child growing up in Northern Ontario. It was, we had one in our house. Almost everybody had one in their house.
Wow.
And it was a regular occurrence. I don't know how often, I can't remember. It seemed like it was quite often. I remember as a child that we were always going to somebody's house to have a sauna, or somebody was coming to our house to have a sauna. And it was very much a social thing as well.
This will be very, very interesting.
And I remember when I was very young that so 2 or 3 families would come over, and then the sauna would be heated, and everybody would be sitting around having a drink and talking, and then the ladies would take the infants and the young kids into the sauna to wash. And I don't necessarily being that young to go to sauna, but I do remember that I didn't want to go to sauna with the ladies anymore. When I was little, I wanted to go with the men. But essentially the ladies would go first with the kids because the sauna wouldn't be too hot yet. You know, it's you don't want to wash a baby in a 100-degree sauna. So the ladies would take the kids in, and I remember, not wanting to go in with the ladies anymore, and I wanted to go in and have a sauna, with the men, right? and a vague memory of that first time that I was able to go in with my father and uncles, and we sat there, and there was I think my cousin was in there too as well, and was it my cousin? I can't remember, but right away he went down to the second bench, and I was up on the top bench with my dad and uncle and friends, and they started throwing lulu, and they're singing and laughing and joking, and when you throw lulu on the rocks, the water on the rocks, the steam comes up and it comes around, and you can see it coming around because everybody cringes as it burns a layer of skin off your back. And I remember that lulu hitting my back, and it just felt like they were pulling a layer of skin right off my back. It was so hot. But I thought if I went down to the second bench or left the sauna, that there was a chance they might send me back to sauna with the ladies. And there was no way I was going to let that happen. So I sat up on that top bench and endured every second of it. And there was no way I was leaving. I waited till every one of them had stepped out of the sauna you go out and you rest and you cool off a little bit, have a drink. So I waited till every single one of them was off that bench before I got down and went to cool off as well. It was very much a regular occurrence to go visit somebody's house, and it wasn't just a visit. It was an event to go to sauna and visit with them. It was after the ladies had gotten out of the sauna and the men went to sauna. Then the ladies, they took such pride in setting a really nice coffee table, and you didn't just sit down with a cup of coffee. It was a full table spread of cakes and cookies and sandwiches. It was And so then after sauna, we'd all sit down and have coffee. Well, the kids got to come up and grab some snacks and then go play. But yeah, it was really nice. Then there was a special occasion saunas. Christmas Eve sauna was always a big one. That
Wow.
you know, every Christmas, you know, we put up the tree on Christmas Eve, and then went to sauna, got cleaned up and dressed and ready for Christmas dinner. And then our Christmas dinner was always Christmas Eve, and then hopefully wait for Santa Claus to come. You know, whenever we built the camp, there was always the sauna was always first priority. That once the sauna was operational, then there was a place to wash, get cleaned up after days of working on the camp. Then you would always go and wash in the sauna and have a swim and rest. And there's a lot of stories of, you know, the Finnish military during the wars. They would build a sauna.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry for pausing. I just love listening to him talk about his childhood memories, like bring back the childhood memories, like how we usually go for sauna and all of that is really, really interesting. Coupled with the fact that I'm watching him do his thing, he cooks while he talks about all of these things. It is really, really interesting. It's nice knowing all of these things. I think sauna is one thing I would love to try out whenever I visit Finland because it sounds really, really interesting, like something you would want to do. And I love this one. Yeah, so guys, let's get back to it.
And along with their fortifications. And then and it would be on the second or third line of defense, I imagine. But then every time there was a rotation, you got to rotate off the line to go back and have a sauna. So there was always a couple people left behind to make sure the sauna was warm when they got back. My father always tells the stories of growing up in Linnanvuori in Finland, and the small village there at the time. They had a community sauna, so it was always all the boys were always sent to go up and you know, wash in the sauna, get cleaned up over there. And I imagine that was similar in a lot of small towns, that they had one community sauna, and it's still quite common in Finland that they have public saunas. I went to one while I was there last fall. It was amazing sauna, really nice. But I imagine a lot of those small villages and towns, that instead of everybody having this individual sauna, that the one community sauna was put together. Now I could probably list off hundreds of sauna stories and adventures, but the misery of it all, living in Nova Scotia, where there's no Finnish community, so finding a sauna is, I've been here a long time, and I haven't had a good sauna in Nova Scotia. You know, you get your saunas in the gym, which are the dry saunas, and you're not allowed to throw water on the rocks, or you get the steam room, and they call that a sauna. And then these hot tub places are selling these infrared saunas and all that, but not the same, that's for sure. When we were at the bush camp, it was always our job to get the sauna ready as kids. So we had to carry mass amounts of water into the sauna, these big buckets. And at that age, they were heavy freaking buckets. So we had to carry them back and forth, making these trips to fill up the water and get the sauna nice and hot. I remember one Christmas, it's in our house, Santa Claus always came to our house on Christmas Eve, which is quite common in Finland. And then one Christmas Eve, Santa Claus, for one reason or other, Santa Claus couldn't make it. So my parents thought they would be wise. And they sent my sister and I to sauna to get cleaned up. And then when we came out of the sauna, all the presents were already under the tree. And then there's my parents, oh, you just missed him. He was here, he couldn't stay, but he left the presents for you. And Santa Claus comes, you get me out of the sauna. I don't care. I don't have that much shame. I'll sit on his lap in a towel. Yeah, so we missed Santa Claus that year because of the sauna. I remember going ice fishing with my father when I was little. And we get out to the camp, and the camp was quite large. So we were only going to be there for the night and then fish all the next day. So then we didn't want to heat up the whole camp. It would just take too long. So we would heat up the sauna and then go to sauna, jump in the snow, have a good wash. And then we slept in the porchway of the sauna. It was nice and warm, good place to sleep. Got up in the morning, went ice fishing. I miss it. I really do. The sauna for Finlanders, it isn't, like having a hot tub at your house. It's ingrained in the culture and in the society as a people. The sauna is very much a part of who they are. And I think this designation by UNESCO is very well deserved. And I'm glad to see it. And I'm glad to see it recognized.
Oh, look at this cute boy. Oh, he's so cute. Wow. Guys, I hope you enjoyed watching this. Finns don't joke with sauna. Like they love that their culture so much. Okay, they love sauna so much. They observe it when it is necessary, and it is really nice. Like I'm not even a Finn, and I love it. Just listening to how they talk about sauna, I really want to try it. I really want to experience how it feels like, right, to sauna. So you all let me know what you feel about this video. Credit to this to him, okay, because it is nice. I enjoyed listening to him say all of his memories, talk about his memories, sauna memories and all of that. It's really interesting. He's a very intelligent man. So you all let me know what you feel about this video on the comments, all right? So do well to share, like, and comment on this video. Give this video a thumbs up, guys. If you enjoy listening to this video, if you enjoy watching like I did, please give this video a thumbs up. And you all, see you all on my next video, and bye for now.